Hi, this is the History of Israel podcast, an Each My Own Beat podcast. Over the coming weeks, months, and years, we'll be discussing the history of Israel. This is not a podcast to say which side is right, which side is wrong. It's not a podcast to talk about the war which is happening in Palestine. It's just simply the history of Israel.
Welcome back. This is episode 14 of the History of Israel podcast. Second Temple period, Persian period from 538 to 332 BCE. In 538 BCE, Cyrus the Great, the Archimedean emperor, conquered Babylon and took over its empire. Cyrus issued a proclamation granting religious freedom to all people subjugated by the Babylonians. According to the Bible, Jewish exiles in Babylon, including 50,000 Judeans led by Zerubbabel, returned to Judah to rebuild the temple in Jerusalem. The Second Temple was subsequently completed in 515 BCE. A second group, 5,000, led by Ezra and Nehemiah, returned to Judah in 456 BCE. The first was empowered by the Persian king to enforce religious rules. The second had the status of governor and royal mission to restore the walls of the city. The country remained a province of Achaemenid Empire called Yehud until 332 BCE. The final text of the Torah, the first 5 books of the Bible, is thought to have been written during the Persian period, probably 450 to 350 BCE. The text was formed by editing and unifying earlier texts. The returning Israelites adopted an Aramaic script, also known as the Ashuri alphabet, which they brought back from Babylon. This is the current Hebrew script. The Hebrew calendar closely resembles the Babylonian calendar and probably dates from this period. The Bible describes tension between the returnees, the elite of the First Temple period, and those who had remained in Judah. It is possible that the returnees, supported by the Persian monarchy, became large landholders at the expense of the people who remained to work in the land of Judah, whose opposition to the Second Temple would have reflected a fear that exclusion from the cult would deprive them of land rights. Judah had become, in practice, a theocracy, ruled by hereditary high priests and Persian-appointed governor. Frequently Jewish charged with keeping order, and the tribute was paid. A Judean military garrison was placed by the Persians on the Elephantine Island near Aswan in Egypt. In the early 20th century, 175 papyrus documents actively in the community were discovered, including the Passover papyrus, a letter instructing the garrison on how to correctly conduct Passover feast.
This has been the History of Israel podcast. Check back every Wednesday for new episodes. We're available on Apple, iTunes, Google Podcasts, as well as Spotify. We also have each episode streaming on YouTube. Like, subscribe, comment, and share. We're available on eatmyownbeat.com as well as the History of Israel podcast on Facebook.